What's up, y'all? It's your boy JB coming to you today with a review for The Real Housewives of Potomac Season 3, Episode 10, titled RSVPlease. So without further ado, let's get into this video. So the episode started with Ashley. Ashley was working out with her dog, and she was just thinking about some stuff. She's talking about how now that she has taken a step back from her mom, that she and Michael are actually in a good place with each other. And I'm like, it's about damn time that you put your mom in her place. They showed that scene where her mom was talking about, Ashley asked her mom what she's saying. She's talking about, where I'm staying, and I'm staying in a hotel. I'm like, bitch, get out of here with that shit. Like, you are using that girl. Like, what you gonna do if Michael divorces her ass? You ain't gonna have shit. You ain't gonna have nowhere to stay. You ain't have no, you ain't gonna have a pot to piss in. Like, get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. Like, couldn't with her mama. So it's about time that Ashley said, put her foot down and said, hey, enough is enough. I'm tired of your shit. You got to get your shit together and figure your shit out. And she's talking about, since they are in a good place, she wants to extend her prenup. The prenup was originally for 3 years, and I think at the 3-year mark, if they would have divorced, well, I know before the mark in the it was a clause in the prenup that if they divorced before a certain amount of time, Ash would only take so much of the money, and then after that, if they lasted the time of the prenup, I think it might have been the 3 years that Ashley would have withstood getting half of Michael's earnings. I'm like, damn, Michael's a better man than I am, because when they got married, Ashley was only 25 years old, so and he was half her age. And then Michael said that at one point he did have his doubts that not Michael, but Ashley was only there just for the money. And you can, doesn't take a rocket scientist to see, hey, this is a young woman marrying an older man. So I can definitely see how he felt like that at one point. And then looking at the situation with Ashley and her mother, like, I definitely can see how Michael felt like, she might not have been there for the right reasons. So they actually did meet up at Michael's office to talk about things, the prenup and all that kind of stuff. And, Michael didn't really want to talk about it on camera, but they did finally come to a decision about the prenup. Like I said, Ashley, it was only for 3 years, so Ashley wants extended to be 5 years, and Michael is cool with that. So if that makes them happy, I hope I'll be good for them. And so they did go on a double date. They went out with the Samuels. They went bowling, and in this bowling event, it was couples against couples. Originally, I thought they were talking about maybe Michael and Monique be on the same team and Ashley and Chris be on the same team, but it had actually been the Darbys versus the Samuels, which the Darbys won. So once they finish bowling and all this stuff, they sit down, they talk about kids. Ashley wants kids with Michael. Michael has been on the fence about having kids. But in this scene, Michael let it be known that he's no longer on the fence about having kids with Ashley, that he wants to indeed have kids with her. And Ashley was kind of surprised because, that wasn't something that they had discussed. But, if they have kids, cool for them. He old as hell, but, when their kids go to school, your kids gonna call, students gonna call you, your kids' friends at school gonna think that's their grandpa. Ew, that's gonna be weird. Grandma, what? No, grandpa and mama. Never mind, not even going over with that one. But if they have kids, kudos to them. And then while the guys get up and move, and you just have Ashley and Monique sitting there, and Monique is asking Ashley about an event that she's having, and Robin is having an event on the same day. So she's asking Ashley, is Ashley coming to her event instead of going to Robin's event? But Ashley said that when they were in Nemacolin, that Robin actually asked her to go to her event. So she's actually going to Robin's event instead of Monique's event. And then she kind of said, well, Robin actually planned this one you just got tickets for. And I'm like, damn, that was shade. And Monique kind of got in her feelings a little bit. She's talking about the whole situation with Ashley running her big ass mouth. She would have looked at her differently if Ashley had canceled her plans on Robin and Ashley came to her event. And I'm like, really? You would look at her differently? I would look at her sideways. Like, you made plans with that girl, but just because me and you are trying to get back cool, you gonna ditch her for me? Like, I would be like, nah. I would look at you differently then. You know, they are talking about Sherman, and um, what is the girl name? Monique. Monique was talking about how she knows Kendall, Sherman's ex-wife, through Sharice. And then, they gave how long, each girl talked about it in their interviews. Sharice has known Kendall for 18 years because Sherman played on Eddie's team, or played for Eddie. I don't know which one it was, but she's known him for 18 years. And, they're talking about how Sherman got caught. Well, actually, he got arrested because he was at a park with another woman. And that's how Kendall actually found out that Sherman was cheating on her, which I'm like, damn, that's a fucked up way to find out that your husband is cheating on you because he got arrested with another woman at a park. Like, that is some crazy shit right there. But moving on from there, I mean, that shit is fucked up. So I'm guessing this is how we're going to introduce Kendall into the group and the whole dynamic between her and Giselle, and all that kind of shit. So I'm actually interested to see how this shit goes forward. It's gonna be interesting as hell, like, for real. We got 8 more episodes left of this season, so I am looking forward to this shit with Giselle and the Kendall girl and Karen stuff. So I am really looking forward to this. But moving on. All right, so next you get Giselle. She and Robin are meeting up at the doctor's office where she says she's having collagen done, where they took the blood out of her arm and put the blood on her face, which I thought was so fucking nasty and disgusting. And, while they're there, they are discussing Sherman. And again, Giselle doesn't know where she stands with Sherman. She said that she and Sherman had a big blow up because of the interview that she did with the magazine, which I was really kind of confused about, because if that's why he's mad at you because of that interview that you did, it makes no sense, because he was at the reunion last season and Andy Cohen himself pointed out Sherman, because Sherman was actually behind backstage and Andy pointed him out and the camera zoomed back to him. So I really didn't understand that whole situation about him being upset about that interview that she did and his picture being plastered in a magazine. Didn't make sense to me, but that's not my business, so I'm gonna move on from that. And then we get so like I said, Robin is here with Giselle while she's getting this college and stuff done, and she's talking about having her birthday party, and she's talking about all the girls are invited, and then Robin was like, even Candace. She said excluding Candace, because and she's talking about the whole thing, that everything that's happened with Candace and all that kind of stuff, and she's talking about how Candace came at her the wrong way. And I'm thinking to myself, nah, boo, you went at her the wrong way, because initially she didn't have any problems with you. The whole situation was between Sharice and Candace, not you and Candace. You just inserted your big ass mouth into that situation that had nothing to do with you. So that's why Candace came at you the way that she did. And again, like I said, they were doing this collagen thing where they took the blood out of her arm, and that shit was nasty. They literally put it all over her face, and I just thought that was so fucking disgusting. So, like I said, they're talking about, and then while they're there, she's talking about Robin's empowerment event that she's having the following Friday. And when she's talking about an empowerment event from Robin, I'm like, Robin, again, like I said the week before, Robin is the last person to talk about anything empowering, anything, because when it comes to these women, she puts some of them down, just to try to build herself up. So I wouldn't go to anything that Robin is having about anything women empowerment. Robin can kiss my ass about that one, because I'd be like, girl, fuck you. You are not uplifting anybody. The only person that you need to uplift is your own damn self, because I can't stand Robin. Gets on my fucking nerves, I swear to God. All right, so Giselle's party, all the girls are there. She and Robin are the first two there, and they're toasting to the Green Eyed Bandits and all this other kind of shit, which I didn't care about. So like I said, all the girls are there. Everyone is there minus Candace and Sherman. Giselle's whole thing is, with everything that's going on between her and Sherman, all she wants to do is just have fun with her girls. And all the girls show up. You get Karen, you get Ashley, you get Sharice is there, and you get, like I said, Robin. So they're sitting down, and Ashley's big ass mouth asks, "Well, where's Sherman?" Because Sherman was there last year, but he's not there this year. And I don't really think Giselle even mentioned why he's not there, but she just said he's not there. And they all want to know, well, why is Sherman not here? Where is Sherman? And again, Sherman is not there because of the whole situation with the magazine, which again, still stupid to me, but if they like it, I love it. So Giselle has a bad time with everything. Like, this is your event, and you decide to bring something up that I don't even think you should have brought up at this event, but I'll get into it in just a little bit. But once Karen shows up, they ask her. I don't think they've saw Karen since the event, her event that she had with the girls, that Ashley, Robin, and Monique, when they all got into it with one another. And Monique, I mean, not Monique, but Karen's thing was that, she just wanted to take a break from, I guess, Robin and Giselle, because when they're at events, they, manage to get shit started. And I was 100% on Karen's side. Like, I can see you taking a break from those girls, because at that event, they did not know how to act, so they really embarrassed her. And back to what I was talking about earlier with Giselle, I was having bad timing about bringing shit up that can be tabled for a later discussion. So, like I said earlier, Monique and Robin are both having events on the same date. So Sharice sent a text message to Robin saying that she wasn't going to come because she's actually going to Monique's event. And normally, I mean, I don't even stick up for Sharice, but in this instance, I am going to stick up for Sharice because Sharice was in the right. So Sharice said that, Monique had asked her to come to her event long before Robin even mentioned her event. So out of obligations, Sharice is going to go to Monique's event instead of going to Robin's event. And Robin is in her feelings, because she's talking about, she and Sharice have been friends for 14 years, and she feels like Sharice is picking a new friendship over their old friendship. And I'm like, girl, come on, get out your feelings. Like, again, this is on you and Monique. You two bitches have a problem with each other right now. Instead of being mature adults and sitting down and saying, hey, I'm having this event on Friday, whatever. I know me and you're not in a good space, but I want to extend an invite to you. Will you come? Or, you don't, if you don't want to come, that's fine. If you do, let me know. And that's how that all could have been squashed. And, and then, if this is Robin talking to Monique, Monique could have said, oh, nah, I'm not coming. I have something that I'm planning that day. And actually, I've invited some of the other girls. And then, they could have sat down and, hashed that out. But for the sake of the show and for drama's sake, they decided not to tell each other about their events. And I'm like, oh my God, are you fucking serious? So, Robin gets up and leaves the party. And I'm like, you bitter bitch. Like, so much for women's empowerment. Like, you are trying to pit this woman against, like, her whatever the girl named Monique. Like, this stuff is stupid, it's childish, it's petty, it's immature. Like, y'all need to grow the fuck up. Like, I was just over that whole situation with them altogether. Like, this is dumb as fuck to be upset over, double booking for an event. And then Karen had to say, oh, did she, she had to look and see if she double booked for the event, which, I mean, obviously she did, because, I mean, these two bitter petty patties can't even tell each other that they have an event on the same day. Like, ridiculous as fuck. Like, get out of here with that bullshit. Ugh. Like, I love Potomac, but some of the stuff on Potomac, it just seems drawn out, far-fetched, and made up for the TV show. But moving on from that, we'll go to the next. All right, so next we get to see with Monique. Monique is out shopping for a dress for a black tie gala that she's going to. She's out shopping with her mom, and when her mom came on the scene, I'm like, who is that? I'm like, Monique. I'm like, I didn't know that Monique had a younger sister. She never mentioned that she had a younger sister, but then she says that's her mother. I'm like, damn, her mom look younger than she is. I'm like, okay. And then she, she was talking about how when she goes out places, everybody confuses her mom for her sister, and I'm like, I can see why, because your mama looks much younger than you are. And she's just talking to her about the kids are happy that she's there and all that kind of stuff. And she's joined by her friend Gigi that she said she's known for 15 years. And production was messy as hell with this one. So Monique is talking about her event that she's having, and it's actually not even an event that she's having. It's something that she's just, it's, like I said, it's a black tie gala that she was invited to because of some of the charitable work that she's done since she's been in the DC area and all that kind of stuff. So production is talking to her about her event, and both Robin about her event, and they asked them, when is their event, and they both say on Friday, which is the same day. I guess it's the same date. Is it the same? I wonder if it's at the same time that they having the same event, but who cares? But like I said, production was messy as hell for that one. Like they couldn't ever say. I mean, because I know they have filming schedules, so they couldn't say, hey, Robin has an event this day and Monique has an event this day. Are you guys going to be able to? Is it going to be a conflict? Which it is a conflict, but that's neither here nor there. Production was messy as fuck for that one. Alright, so next we get Candace. Candace is actually sitting down with her mom. Her mom and she and Candace are talking about her opening up a salon, and Candace is asking her who's going to run the salon. And I guess Candace was trying to hint that she wants to run the salon because what Candace wants to do is have her own brick and mortar for her hair line that she has. And then, she, with her doing this, she wants to be independent of her mom. I think with her hairline, it's her and her sister that runs it, so it would be her and her sister who would run the brick and mortar of the hairline. And, she's talking to her mom, telling her how Chris has given her, and talked to her about running a store and all that kind of stuff. So Candace kind of feels like she's ready to open up her own store and, once again, like I said, be independent of her mother, which I think is cool because I think, how old is Candace? Like 26, 27, or might be younger than that. I think it is time that Candace is independent of her mom and, makes her own money and does for herself because she's about to become a married woman. So it's time to be independent and do for yourself. So I'm all here for that. And then, while they're sitting down, Candace's mom is telling her, how, she feels like whenever she gives Candace some advice, Candace is not very receptive of that advice, and I can see that. And, but with her mom, I also kind of see it's a plus and minus with them because I can see why Candace won't be receptive to her advice because I think her mom might give her unsolicited advice. So I can definitely see why, she feels that way, and I can definitely see why Candace might not be as receptive to her advice as her mother would like her to be. And then we also got a scene where Candace and Chris were sitting down. Candace said that she got an email from the wedding planner about how much the food was going to cost. And I think she said $18,000 or something like that. And I'm like, how many people are you feeding them? What are you feeding them? Like, like you can go somewhere and get catering for a big group of people for less amount of money. But, that's these bougie ass people. So let them do what they want to do. And so while they're there, Chris is telling Candace that he's making a signature cocktail after her. And he was describing the cocktail, pretty much describing her personality and all that kind of stuff. And, she's talking about how the girls are probably at Giselle's party right now. And she's talking about what's probably going on at the party. And, to me, it sounded like she was a little bit bitter about not being invited to the party. But you and Giselle had a disagreement and a little bit of an argument. So I wouldn't have expected Giselle to invite me if this were me and we had gotten into it. I wouldn't expect her to invite me to her party. I'd be like, shit, fuck you. I don't care about coming to your party. But, again, like I really don't understand these girls. If you're not cool with each other, why do you seem like you're in your feelings about not going to her party? Like I'd be like, happy birthday to her, but I couldn't care less about not going to her party. But moving on from that. All right, so next we get to scene with Robin. She's meeting up with Candace and she's meeting up with Karen. So she gets to the restaurant that she's going to meet them up at, and Candace is there first. So Robin let it be known again that she actually does like Candace, and she tells Candace that she was missed at the party, and she said, well, I missed you at the party. I can't speak for other people, me and Giselle. And I'm like, ooh, this is gonna be an interesting reunion to see the dynamic between Robin and Giselle because like I said, Robin really does like Candace. She liked her from her witty comebacks, and then they showed her She liked when they had fun at Nemo Colon. So I'm like, oh, this is gonna be interesting. Your friend does not like her, but you do. So I want to see how this is gonna work out at the end of the season. But while they're sitting there, the whole meaning behind this setup is to see if Candace and Karen are actually coming to Robin's event and not Monique's event, which I think is so fucking stupid and so fucking childish. Like, you all are grown ass women. Like, come on. Like, what the fuck? But Candace, I guess, said that, she is coming to Robin's event and not Monique's event. So that's it for Candace. So Karen shows up. Karen is late. And then, I guess Karen, just like Charisse, sent Robin a text letting her know that she had double booked for both Robin and Monique's event. And then, so Karen's whole thing is, and Karen is good for bullshitting you. So Karen is sitting there just weaving a web of fucking lies for herself. I'm like, come on, Karen. It's just easy to tell her, hey, I'm going to Monique's event. Fuck your event. I'm not coming. But instead, Karen's like, she verbally agreed to go to Monique's event, and she didn't verbally agree to go to Robin's event. She tries to blame it on Siri. She's like, when she saw Robin text her about her event, she was like, yeah, I'll go, instead of, an actual verbal, yes, I'll go. And then she, again, like I said, she's trying to blame the shit on Siri. Like, are you fucking joking, Karen? Siri does what we tell her to do, not what she wants us to do. And then they tried to show when Karen was having an issue with Siri talking about call Matt Byers, and it's like Siri said, do you want me to call Matthew Byers? Siri goes based off of what is programmed into your phone. So I was like, Karen, get the fuck out of here with that shit. Talking about who else is Matthew Byers. And first of all, Karen, Siri is not a real person, so the way that you trying to talk to her, the bitch is not real. It's just that easy to tell Robin, fuck you, I'm going to Monique's event. I had already talked to Monique about going to her event before you even mentioned yours, so I'm going there instead of yours. It's just that fucking simple and easy, but it is Karen, so Karen has to lie and, weave her way out of all this kind of stuff. And then, when Karen's talking about Siri, Robin was like, you trying to blame it on Siri. If Siri is that good, maybe she could have helped you with your taxes. And I'm like, oh my God, not the taxes again. Let it go. But that shit was so stupid and childish to me. Like, I just really swear to God, I didn't understand it. Like, y'all are grown ass women, and Karen, you are old ass woman. Like, you could have just sat there and told that girl, I'm not coming to your event, I'm going to Monique's event. It's just that easy and it's just that simple. But again, for the sake of the show, they got to draw shit out and make it more interesting. I get it, but whatever. Actually, I'm going to say, when it comes down to Robin is one of those people, like, if they did something for you 10 years ago, and it comes down to something that they need you to do for them today, they're gonna be like, oh, well, you remember when I did this and this and this for you 10 years ago? Because Robin's whole thing was, she went to the press conference with no press, she went to her scent party with no scent, and then she went to something else, that charity event that she had in her living room. And I'm like, Robin, so you that type to hold shit against somebody, like, that's childish and that's petty and that's immature. But Robin seems like a petty, childish, immature ass old bitch. Like, I really can't stand Robin. Like, I heard that Real Housewives of Potomac was picked up for season 4. So with season 4, I'm hoping that Robin is not on there, and I'm hoping that Charisse is finally gone in season 4, because those two have worked my nerves the last 2 seasons. But actually, in this episode, Charisse didn't even bother me. It was more so Robin that bothered the fuck out of me than Charisse, which is really backwards, but moving on. So Robin and Juan are at their townhouse. They're cooking dinner, and she lets us know that since they had met with the medium, that they are in good spice with each other. Funny, they're in a good space with each other. They're spending more time with each other, and I'm like, girl, he still ain't gonna marry you. Like, you guys are living together, and you having sex with him. Like, he's not gonna marry you. Like, the old saying goes, why buy the cow when you're getting the milk for free? So, girl, get the fuck out of here with that shit. He is not gonna marry you. So they're cooking dinner for them, and they're supposed to have a double date with Giselle and Sherman. Sherman and Juan know each other through passing through when they were both in the NBA, but they don't formally know each other. So this is supposed to be a chance for them to actually meet each other and get to know each other, and all that kind of stuff. So Giselle comes over. Actually, Giselle's by herself in this instance. And Sherman, I mean not Sherman, but Juan is like, "Where's Sherman?" And she's like, "That's something we got to talk about." So she gets in the house and talks about it. And she said that she and Sherman are over. And basically, it's because of that whole, magazine thing and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, really? This nigga broke up with you because of that? But I'm like, it's got to be more to the story than what Giselle is telling us. And then, I was actually here for one with this whole situation with Giselle. He was telling her that she is impatient and all that kind of stuff, and she was like, her mother told her the same thing. And I'm like, well, if your mama telling you that you're impatient, then take heed to what she's saying and listen to her, because I don't believe it's all on Sherman. I think Giselle has a part that she plays in it too. And I think if they actually sat down and talked about it, that they could figure out a way to. And actually, she did say that they were talking about they were going to go to counseling, but Sherman's whole thing was he needed a second opinion on everything. And I'm like, oh, you know. But I think it's a lot more going on between those two than she's putting on. But maybe we'll see it further in the season once we are introducing to Kendall, his ex-wife. But that was Real Housewives of Potomac. Tell me how you feel. Leave your comments, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys later. Peace out.